Welcome, LIPSEY'S Guns fans. Next to the one and only Jason Klossner, I am Rob Abrazino, and we have the latest and greatest LIPSEY'S exclusive. This is an HK USP 45, customized by Langdon Tactical. And Jason, we're gonna dive right into this thing, hot off the press.
Just got them in.
Tell us a little bit about. I'll get to my thoughts in a minute when I first saw this, but go ahead and kind of clue us in a little bit as to what we're looking at with this new exclusive.
Yeah, so the HK USP has been around for a long time.
Yep.
And there really hasn't been anything done to it. There's no optics cut option from the factory. Quite frankly, the double action triggers on them are pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Out of the box. There's no secret there.
Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah, let's get that out of the way.
But not anymore.
Not anymore. And I've always been a huge fan of the USP, especially the 45. It's a fantastic gun. It's probably the most brutally strong 45 on the market. Probably one of the strongest semi-automatic pistols on the market.
Right.
The reliability of these guns is legendary. They will handle any type of 45 plus P ammo. It'll handle 45 super ammo out of the box. You don't have to change springs and all this kind of stuff in them. They just run and run and run and run.
Yeah.
And they're very accurate guns. They're big, but they handle the recoil well. It's 12+1 capacity, so it's got a lot of good capacity on it.
Right.
But they're still fairly lightweight. It's about 31 ounces on that gun. So there's been a very big renewed interest in the USP 45 in the last 5 or 6 years or so as an application kind of carried in the field. And we've talked about that all the time, field guns, field auto pistols.
Right.
While a lot of people are looking at 10 millimeters, there's still a lot of guys out there that like the idea of maybe a 45 Super or 45 plus
Still
P.
very popular round.
Absolutely, out of a USP. It'll handle it, it works, there's no fuss, no muss there. You can shoot regular 45 ACP ammo in there, it's a lot cheaper, it's easy to find. But from the factory, the guns have always been a little lacking as far as some of the upgrades that the modern shooters have been looking for.
A classic, I guess.
Absolutely. So, I don't know, rewind several months ago, I was looking at different options for USPs and everything of something to do. And I looked, I had an Outdoor Wire press release that Langdon Tactical was starting to work on HKs. I was like, oh, perfect.
There you go.
Here we go. And so we reached out to those guys. And I tell you what, Ernest Langdon has got a great reputation as not only as a shooter, I mean, one of the greatest competition shooters that's been out there.
Absolutely.
Also a trainer, gun customization. He's worked in the industry for 35 years. So very well respected, always does guns right. You're never gonna have it kind of piecemeal together. It's always gonna be well vetted. And so that was the company we wanted to deal with.
Right.
And at the time, he really wasn't doing anything with USPs. He's doing a lot with the HK P30s and the VP9s and stuff like that. So reached out and said, hey, would you be interested in potentially doing something with the USP? And he said, yeah, heck, send them over, we'll give it a shot. We'll take a look at it.
Right.
So he did his magic, played around with them, and came up with an optics cut option for it. His own proprietary little plate there that goes with it. This is how the guns will come.
Yeah,
So,
that was going to be my comment. The other day I saw this for the first time to take pictures of it. And I was talking to Chris, and I was like, I think there might be something missing, or do we have more parts?
top of the slide's missing.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're milled by Langdon Tactical, and then he includes, in the box, will be included a plate for the RMR platform. So your Trijicon RMR, SRO, the Holosun 407 or 507 will go directly onto this plate. Now, if you decide that you want to use a Holosun 509T or one of the EPSs they just came out with, he also makes a plate for those as well. So and there's actually a little card in the box that you can exchange this plate out for either the 509T or the EPS system. Integral backup sight built into this plate, and also a custom front sight. So we wanted a real low co-witness in there, so the sights sit at the very bottom of the window of the optic, which I prefer, so you're not cluttering up your window, but you're still very usable. And so it's got a really nice option now to mount an optic on the USP. Actually, here's one with the Trijicon RMR mounted on it. As you can see, it's mounted really low and tight, and it really looks good on the gun.
It's sleek.
It looks really sleek.
Really sleek.
The wider side of the USP actually lends well to an optic because it's not hanging over the sides.
I saw Chris taking photos of that earlier, which I'm sure we're looking at here, but yeah, that's fantastic. That was a cool looking gun.
It's a good looking gun.
Yep.
So when you buy this gun, it'll come like this with this plate on there. It will not have a cover plate. We did not want to include it with an optic because there's a lot of options out there.
Personalization. Yeah.
A lot of people already maybe have an optic that they would just rather not have to buy another one.
Right.
So we wanted to give the end user the option there. But we also wanted to address the trigger on the USP. The double action, single action V1 variant is still the most popular of the USPs. So we decided to go with that platform. And we talked to Ernest, and he was able to really slick these triggers out. So he does his trigger and action work on the triggers, and he also includes one of the Gray Gun short reset systems on here. So you get a really nice, a much smoother double action trigger pull, a much shorter, crisper reset on your follow-up shots. So we really took two of the real deficits of the USP, the trigger and the optics mount, and we were able to fix it with this option here.
To modernize it, I guess, a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now you still have a bomb-proof gun that's capable of shooting anything from standard 45 ACP up to 45 Super, and now you can put an optic on it, and it's got a nice trigger.
Well, the 45 is really popular, that platform in the USP. What about the 9? Any plans for the 9 maybe down the road?
Sure, absolutely. We talked to HK about potentially supplying some 9mm, and so we'll probably look at maybe doing a 9mm compact version in the future.
Same kind of outfit, I guess?
Same package, same optic options and everything. Again, kind of breathing some new light into USB. It's still it's a legacy platform for HK, but it's still got a lot of relevance, and there's a lot of people who really love those guns. Again, reliability is king on these guns.
Absolutely.
You don't have to fool with them. And now that we're kind of in a striker gun world, to have a double action, single action option, which have the modern options, is a pretty good deal.
Which I love. I love double action, single action guns. I actually have a VP9, which is a great gun. I love that as well. That got real popular several years ago, and I don't feel like this probably fell in a crack because it's always been a very popular gun, but I'm glad to see. I love that what we're doing with this. I love that we're bringing it into the modern era.
I'm excited about it too. I've had an HK USP 45 for years, and I carry that gun quite a bit. And it's kind of my just beat around in the woods type semi-auto pistol.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty excited about having mine upgraded because it is. I mean, the trigger's not great. The sights I put some Trijicon HDs on there, and they're good, but I mean, let's face it, all of our eyes are getting a little older, and
For sure.
The miniature red dots are getting better. So I do think it gives us a viable option in this gun. And at first when we started talking about this, I thought, man, is this going to really? HK USP is already a pretty big gun. Is this putting an optic here going to make it really big? But
It's
I
hefty.
tell you what,
Very hefty.
But I tell you what, having an optic on here is not obtrusive at all. It's still very sleek, and I
agree.
I really like the way it looks too.
I think it looks cooler with the optic on.
I do. Yeah. I agree with you. I think it does too. And anybody who's listened and tuned into our podcast and videos in the past know that we always talk about single action, double action revolvers.
Yeah.
We're always talking about the 44 Special and the 45 Colt. Yeah. And where a lot of guys fall out is a 250 grain bullet at around 900 to 1,000 feet per second. That's kind of the load.
Right.
That'll handle everything in North America short of the big bears. You hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Well, with this gun, you kind of have that.
Yeah.
You can have a 230 to 250 grain bullet at around 900 to 1,000 feet per second, and you've got 12+1 capacity.
Yeah.
And now you can argue that it's lighter, it's easier to reload, potentially a little bit faster and easier to shoot, and you have an optic ready. So this gun's got it going for it.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you want to learn more, you can check out Langdon Tactical. .com. I got that right, the website?
Yep.
Yeah, so more information on that business, great partner of ours. I think this turned out really cool. See, I'm really excited about this gun. But Jason, tell me what else comes in the box. I see a few other little goodies over there. So.
Yeah, so it comes with the car like we talked about before, be able to change your plate if that's what you want to do.
Right.
Also comes in just with a certification from Langdon Tactical, about what's going on.
Makes it official.
Makes it official.
Official LIPSEY'S exclusive too.
And all these guns will have their logo on the slide, so you know it was done by Langdon Tactical. Don't accept invitations.
There you go.
Kind of
Good.
deal. You'll also have a mounting kit in the with your different screws. So they have two different sets of screws. One is RMR specific, and one is for the Holoson 407 or 507
Right.
specific. So that's good. They do it right. You don't have to worry about sourcing any of that stuff. Obviously, you can pack a Vibratight in there so you can mount that thing properly, your optic. And then there will be a little package in here that'll have the original HK OEM trigger parts and reset in there. They upgraded with the gray guns.
You want to go back or?
Just so you have them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So the gray guns short reset system is in the gun, and obviously the trigger work from Langdon Tactical. So all that comes with it. You still get your two 12-round magazines, and the plate will be mounted on the gun already, properly torqued and properly witness marked and everything. So
Ready to roll.
It's ready to go. All you gotta do is put your optic on and go shoot.
Well, you can find out more at langdontactical.com on some more about their business and anything else on this gun, of course, our exclusive. And really excited about this. I mean, it's I love this project, and I know you're fired up about it. You're passionate about it too. So.
I am, and doing it this way, it's a great value as well. To do this package on somebody's individual USP is about a $500 upgrade, and that's not including having to ship it.
Right.
Not including having to send it off and everything. So the way we were able to do this in scale and everything, it's a really good value for somebody to be able to go ahead and get this out of the box. I mean, if you've been in the market for a full size, heavy duty 45 that's got all the modern upgrades, this gun's really pretty tough to beat.
That's fantastic. Well, listen, go hit up your LIPSEY'S dealer in your area. You can go to lipseys.com, punch in our dealer finder so you can find a LIPSEY'S dealer in your area, and you can get one of these bad boys on order because they're ready to roll, right?
Yeah, we're launching now.
Good, there we go. So check us out on the socials, at LIPSEY'S Guns on Facebook and Instagram. We got another podcast coming up soon, more video reviews, all kinds of stuff, staying busy over here. So thanks, Jason, and hey.
Let's aim higher.
Aim higher.